This is Craig Haugard with your Financial Issues Ag Update. Well, corn took what appeared to be a bearish USDA report yesterday and used it as a springboard to close higher. The report increased the projected national average yield to 181.8 bushels per acre. That's an increase of 3.3 bushels per acre over last month's projections and higher than the average trade guess. On the demand side of the equation, they increased feed use and exports by 75 million bushels each, to arrive at a projected 2021 marketing year carryout of 2,756,000,000 bushels. That's up 108 million over last month's report. Now, the market initially spiked lower, which attracted speculative buying, and that, coupled with news that the impact of this week's Iowa storms was not reflected in the report, allowed spot futures to close 3 cents higher. In the overnight trade, we have spot futures trading up an additional nickel. Soybeans saw their projected yield jump from 49.8 bushels last month to 53.3 million bushels in yesterday's report. On the demand side of the ledger, the USDA increased the crush by 20 million bushels and exports by 75 million to give us a projected ending stocks number for the 2021 crop year of 610 million bushels. That's 185 million more than we had projected in the August report. In the face of what seemed to be bearish numbers, we saw the spot futures close a dime higher and were trading up an additional 7 cents in the overnight trade. We saw a slight uptick in yield as the USDA increased it by 0.4 of a bushel over last month's report to a 50.1 bushel per acre national average yield. Exports were increased by 25 million bushels, which reduced the projected ending stocks to 925 million, down 17 million from a month ago. The major story in wheat, however, is the large world supplies, which swelled from 314.8 million metric tons last month to 316.8 million in yesterday's report. At the end of the day, we have a huge world supply of wheat, and the U.S. struggles to be competitive in the export market. Those are not the ingredients that you need for a bull market. In the overnight trade, we have Chicago trading unchanged, Kansas City is up a penny, and Minneapolis is 4 cents higher. Cotton futures came under a lot of pressure when the USDA increased the projected per acre yield from 820 pounds per acre last month to 938 pounds per acre in yesterday's report. That pushed the 2021 projected carryout from 6.8 million last month to 7.6 million in yesterday's report. In response, the December futures dropped by 129 points to settle at 62.20. In the overnight trade, we're snapping back a little bit. We've got spot futures trading 40 points higher as I record this. Livestock futures were split for this session. We had the October live cattle futures ending the session $1.27.5 higher, while September feeder cattle were at $1.32.5 higher at the closing bell. Lean hog futures were a touch lower, with the October futures closing down 22.5 cents. Class 3 milk futures worked towards the upper end of their recent trading range, with the August futures finishing up 30 points to settle at 19.69. We're trading an additional 16 points higher in the overnight trade. And meat cutout values were stronger straight across the board. Choice box beef was $1.01 higher to close at $209.09. Select boxes were up 97 cents as they settle at $195.99. Pork carcass cutout values were $2 and a nickel higher, closing the day at $72.44 per hundredweight. This has been Craig Haugard with your Financial Issues Ag Update. We'll be right back with more financial issues after this.